Good morning. Today we are going to be going over LED troubleshooting on a Lumacurve sign. And what I got with me to troubleshoot it is I have a Fluke 115 multimeter with a 10 amp current probe. And then I have a Fluke 365 clamp on. And these are two true RMS meters that are required to test Airfield signs appropriately. Now, we are coming up to a sign, and it is not lit. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to remove the screen by unscrewing the two bolts on the side and removing the screen. Now I am looking at the controller. I see that the light is blinking green, so I automatically will go into resetting the sign. And the first thing I notice is that all the lights came on. The blinking green light is usually a symptom of one out, all out, or a light has failed in the sign. So obviously, a light has not failed today in the sign, so we're going to have to dig and look a little bit deeper into the sign to try to see why it did not start.
I got a question, Dan.
Yes.
How long do I hold the reset button?
Basically, you just hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds until the lights are actually forced on or forced into a solid green. So they will come on if we hold the button. Now, the first thing I am going to do on the sign, since it seems like I am trying to troubleshoot a sign that doesn't seem to have any problem, is I am going to use my multimeter and I am going to turn it to AC amps. Now, this multimeter, I actually have little alligator clips that actually go onto my leads, but it makes it very easy for me to get an accurate measurement of current in the system. So I'm going to clamp them onto the surge. Basically, I am shorting out the power cord right now, and what I see on my meter is basically I have 2.8, 2.9 amps. So I am looking at the primary circuit, and I don't see any amperage that's not sufficient enough to light the sign. So I'm going to unclamp it.
Will our sign work at 2.5 amps?
No, we should have exactly what the advisory circulars say for signs, right, which is basically 2.8 amps and higher. So that is a number one, is that we need enough current to get the sign working or make it operate correctly. Now, just to double check, I'm going to use my clamp-on meter, and basically I'm just turning it to AC amps, and I am going to put it on the power cord, and this one shows me that it is 2.8 amps exactly. With the multimeter and actually shorting the power cord, you are basically zeroing out voltage, and you are basically looking to the primary side on the Airfield circuit. So you are bypassing all the load of the isolation transformer, and you are actually looking at the primary circuit's current. But both meters are basically telling me the same thing, and that is that I don't have any deficiencies in current on this sign. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to check the voltage of the output of the controller. So I'm going to take my little fancy leads off, and now I got my probes. I have to switch my meter leads to common and volts, and now I am going to turn it to DC volts. The secondary side of our controller is DC. We are 170 volts at the terminal strip. So checking them, I just push them right down onto the terminal strips, and I am sitting at 171 volts.
And you're going across the,
I'm going across the black and red wires leaving our controller,
okay.
and on the top of the controller it says positive and negative. Red is positive, black is negative. And I am just pushing them down onto the screws that tighten them into the terminal strip. But I have very good voltage there, so that is why I have a green solid LED light on the controller. So now I know I have good current, I know I have good voltage going to the lamps. So now I'm a little puzzled as to why did I come out here and troubleshoot this sign and I can't find anything wrong. So I'm going to look at the controller, see if I can find any signs of visual damage, any components, any kind of burn marks, just anything that's going to flag me. Capacitors that are going to be puffed up, maybe shriveled up plastic on the outsides of them. But as I look at this controller, it basically looks perfect. I can't find anything that's wrong with it.
No signs of corrosion or?
No corrosion. It seems like it is a perfect controller.